நாளை நமதென்று சொல்லுவோம், நல்ல பாதையில் செல்லுவோம். கல்வியே கண்கள் என்றுமே புது தலைமுறை நாம் பெயர் சொல்லுமே.
Dr. NGR Educational and Research Institute, University, Madurai, Chennai.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could, do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings a smile up to my lips. Oh, fascinated, I'm moving fast. Oh, I'm optimistic as the days go past. Oh, opportunity is here for me, so come along and take a look, because I want you to see. The world is yours, look a little bit closer. If you want it, come and get it. You can take it over, you can make your tomorrows what you want them to be. You got the power in your hands to shape your history. We're going up, 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 and up, up, up. We're going up, 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 and up, up, up. We're going up.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to one and all present here for this international webinar. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I'm Ms. Nadine Kuti, Teaching Assistant at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute. Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute is one of the leading institutions in Tamil Nadu. Today's webinar is on the topic fashion branding. And today's topic is presented by Ms. Vandana, founder, CEO, Evanna Fashion House, Singapore. Now, I welcome upon Mrs. Mahmuda Begum, Head of the Fashion Design Department, to announce the welcome address.
Thank you, Ms. Nandini Kuti. Good evening to one and all present here. I feel honored to welcome the gathering for this international webinar on the topic fashion branding. On this account of this event, I take great pride to welcome our founder Chancellor A.C. Shanmugam and our beloved President Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar for the encouragement and motivation in organizing this webinar. I heartily welcome our Vice President Dr. M.K. Padmanabhan and our Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi for their support. I would also like to welcome our eminent Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Ravichandran, our Provost Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan and our Registrar Dr. C.V. Paranivedu. I would also like to render a warm welcome to our Joint Registrar HNS Dr. Malini Pandey. I am delighted to welcome our Joint Registrar Dr. S. Ramalingam, our Dean S. Manivannan and our Deputy Dean Dr. V. N. Rajavarman for their motivation and support for conducting this international webinar. I would also like to welcome Mr. Nadeem, Director Institute of Design, and all the heads and staff members of our institution. My heartiest welcome to the resource person for today's webinar, Ms. Vandana, Founder, CEO of Evanna Fashion House, Singapore. We welcome you, ma'am. On behalf of the Department of Fashion Design, Adiyalampattu Phase 2 campus, I would like to welcome my beloved participants from various parts of the world who have joined today for this webinar. I hope everyone will have a great knowledge about fashion branding at the end of the session. Dear participants, an announcement regarding the feedback link which will be provided at the end of this session. You can post your queries in the chat box and it will be clarified during the questionnaire session. I welcome you all once again for this webinar and hope that you will have a great time ahead. Thank you one and all.
It was indeed a very pleasing addressing given by you, ma'am. Now, I welcome upon Mr. Nadeem, Director of IOD, Chennai, to introduce about our chief guest.
Good evening, one and all. Okay, I'm very honored to introduce a good friend of mine, Miss Vandana Evanna, the founder and the fashion designer of Evanna Fashion House. She is based out of Singapore and she's been recognized as a wonderful lady in the fashion field. And right now, she's expertise in fashion merchandising, designing. And I'm happy to inform you that she is the Asian Lady of Excellence Award winner and Asia Pacific Golden Brand Award winner for her responsible in getting the Indian fashion and international fashion and bohemian fashion jewelry and plus she is into a lot of eco fashion brands. She's been launched a company in 2011. She's participated in various trade shows and fashion shows all over the world. And she's been a part of Miami Fashion Week, Mercedes Fashion Week in Australia, and World Fashion Week in Malaysia, and Asian Lifestyle and Fashion Week in Singapore. And plus our Indian Jaipur Couture show. She's been interviewed by various news TV channels, newspapers, articles, and magazines, and she's been a motivation for a lot of fashion designers in India and abroad. And basically, she's based out of Singapore, and she's well versed in the Asian fashion also. And right now, had been authored a book called Mode La Fashion and Style Icon. This book is launched in 3 locations: one in Delhi, next in Jaipur, and then in Singapore. So, welcome you all to this show of international fashion, and I hope you will be able to understand and appreciate the branding and the expertise and experience of Ms. Vandana. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful introduction given by you. Now we welcome you, ma'am, on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this show, Mr. Nadeem and MGR Institute. I'm humbled to be here. And I'm very thankful that I got this opportunity to share my knowledge to all the students of your institute. And as Mr. Nadeem has mentioned that I have written a book on fashion, this is the book that I would like to show. This is very beneficial for all the designers who want to start their own business, anybody who wants to start their own business, because in that all the designers, how they have established themselves from beginning to end, it's all mentioned in this book. And you can introduce this book in your institute as well. It will be very beneficial for them. Now, next question is, what are the main objectives of branding? Brand objectives are the goals of a brand. Objectives include both end goals such as revenue and steps towards end goals such as the image of the brand in the market. The common brand objectives are identity and image, recognition, awareness, engagement, brand loyalty, brand advocate, brand equity, market share, and margins. Establishing an identity for a brand in the market measured with surveys that discover how a brand is viewed by your target market. Recognition. The percentage of the customer who recognize your brand name and visual symbols such as logo, packaging, brand, colors, and products. Awareness. Brand awareness is the percentage of customers who can recall your brand. For example, top of mind awareness is the percentage of customers who name your brand first when given a product category such as coffee. Engagement. A measure of how often customers interact with your brand. Interactions are defined by you and can include things like visiting your website, visiting a location, making an order, and reviewing a product. Brand loyalty. The number of customers who regularly purchase your brand. Brand advocate. The number of customers who recommend your brand to others. Brand equity. The estimated value of your brand. Market share. The percentage of your target market that are customers. Margins. Revenue margin of a brand driven by factors such as brand identity, brand awareness, brand legacy, and premiumization of brand products.